So yeah, so what I'm going to try and do, so typically with these, this seems like you guys might actually be more intermediate to advanced, but I did cover, it's usually a beginner to advanced topics, only because we never really know the full gamut of who shows up. So we'll stop, we can do questions, that kind of thing. As just to preface this again, I think the point of doing a Facebook presentation, you kind of have to live stream it. So I'm doing that. And again, if you want hot takes, I'll do it after. We can, if you guys want to get candid. So what is Ballbrain Creative?
Videography and photography to share your story. Ballbrain Creative. Ballbrain was founded by multi-talented, super creative videographer and social media maven Mike Rathai. Although Mike started his career as a straight-ahead corporate type, his creative instincts and early training as an animator inspired him to start Ballbrain Creative to market entrepreneurial businesses. Ballbrain works with clients in almost every industry, from craft beers to high-powered law firms on projects ranging from tours of high-end real estate to recording the activities of professional association events. All are done with a special brand of creativity. That's the hallmark of Ballbrain Creative. But why not hear all about it from the wild man himself? Mike, you're on. Visit ballbraincreative.com to learn more about their web and marketing services.
So,
Videography and photography to share your story.
so that's me. I got into this whole social media thing as a video and photo person. And the next question after you get all that is where and how do I post it? So that's where I just learn more social media and that kind of aspect of it, because that's literally the next step that everyone needs. So let me just redo this. So what is the first platform that you guys use when you wake up? Is it, show of hands for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, LinkedIn, email? Okay. I guess I should have clarified social media. And that's to kind of gauge what everyone uses, because I think what's important is to understand where your client base is. I think that's the most important question. Obviously, TikTok has been one of the most talked about platforms for probably the last, really even COVID, 4 or 5 years even. But still, I think Facebook it continues to be an insanely popular social network. And I think, and I'm going to use that as Facebook, not Meta being, Meta owns Instagram, Meta owns WhatsApp, Meta AI, which is like a whole, like all those things, but just literally Facebook. And this is why I think this chart is the only reason why everyone is paying attention, or you guys showed up, is that Facebook is still like 20 some years on. These are the daily active users, like 307 million. It's like, it's just insane that it's still there. And again, if you guys put your email down, I will send out these slides so you can see this. This was actually shocking to me because this is the share of Facebook users by age group. And everyone calls it typically an old platform for old people. But 25 to 34, as of February of 25, had the most users. So that kind of blew my mind. But still, you can tell. The majority of people are on it. There's half of the world is on it. This is another good chart that I wanted everyone to see. This is Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, or X, and I don't use social media regularly. So again, with the email slide, you'll be able to see total users and then just by generation. So just to help, if you know, like if moms are your target or whatever your specific group is, this might help you out. I think the LinkedIn, I still think it's like it's relevant. I mean, so many people use it. I think it's a weird thought leader space where everyone knows that they're being corporate, so they like have this corporate hurrah to themselves, but I think you can still make interesting stuff to be seen, and it also shows that it's not as like fire hose as Facebook, where I think the hardest thing like standing out is to disrupt the noise in Facebook, you know, like, so that's difficult. And then this is just daily. Everyone's on social media daily. So how local customers discover you on Facebook. I think one of the, can we do a quick what everyone's business is? What are you looking to start?
I'm with the Wheaton Chamber, and I'm the marketing. No.
Got it.
I make pads, home decor, accessories, knit and crochet.
Okay. Resale?
Yep.
Freelance creative director, work on a variety of national campaigns, government, retail, etc.
Strategy or like camera?
Not like hands-on A to Z, film, motion graphics,
Okay.
graphic design. If you can see it, I can do it.
Got it. All right. Cool.
I have a series of devotional booklets by topic.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a printing and finance business, so.
Interior decorating, home decor, painting.
So half of one, it's so I can understand. The second thing, just to go back to Trisha's thing about networking, I think as a small business, it's also important to understand what everyone does. So now everyone knows what everyone in the room does, which will potentially be your next connections. If you guys come to the small business networking, you now have another step up. You can say, hey, you're the such and such, and so this is other ways for people to know each other, because I think that's the easiest part. The easiest way to meet people, right, is like meet them in person, and then you like, hey, follow me on Facebook or these socials. That's like, I'll get into this later, but that's like, the easiest sale up front, because obviously I would love for you guys to just hire me, and I have the next 10 videos that I need to produce are taken care of because you guys are all sold by this. But that's not going to happen. You're going to hopefully just follow me on social media, and you'll be like, oh, okay, he's sometimes funny, corny, whatever, and then you'll be like, okay, I actually do need his stuff though. So the community groups is a little different. I'm assuming you guys have all been part of like the neighborhood groups through Facebook. I think if you could think of your business as a way to have a group where like clients, it's more of an educational group, because obviously if it's a selling group, everyone's just going to be not interested and they'll just leave. But groups are a great way to just find your people, because you know them. The community can kind of build itself. And I think that's something. Friend recommendations, that's of course what you want to do. That's like how Trisha referred or asked me to do this. She just knows me. Business page search, sponsored local posts. So we're kind of going for familiarity beats cleverness, and I think that's one of the things that I'm going to hit on throughout this, is that this is to my detriment if you look at even my social pages, because I, as a video person and a photo person, I typically felt like I always needed to show the absolute best thing I'm doing, because you're posting this stuff so people can hire you for like that exact thing. But then I don't post for like 2 months. So then that doesn't do me any good. So it's like familiarity and just kind of getting stuff out. And this is like a whole other mental roadblock thing that, that people need to figure out with. So the, oh yeah, I've seen them before effect, like that's kind of what you're looking for. And so if you do consistency, that's when people are just going to know. Branding is what people believe about you. Marketing is how you get people to notice you. So this is like a Facebook, but this is also a branding talk, because I think branding goes along, like all of this stuff could easily be on Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube, like any of the social platforms, as long as you understand branding and some of this top of funnel, middle funnel stuff, you can just put it to everything else. So branding, perception plus trust plus meaning. So it's literally, I'm sure we mostly all know what branding is, but just it's like going into a yoga studio and it's calm and peaceful, and then you talk to the instructor and she's like a metalhead or so, like they're not the yoga person, but like typically they would be. And so I think that's where branding ends up personifying, like you become the brand becomes you, blah, blah, blah. So it's that feeling, that like people get after they get their stuff. Me, is from that first video, as you can tell, like my point was to have a story. It needed to give some background on me. It needed to be a portfolio to show my work, but then I wanted it to hopefully be a little funny because I feel like that helps people stand out from the fire hose. So just going on this, I think branding is what you're looking for. So if you can really dial that down for all your pages or what you want to get across, that's going to help you the most. So I figure this is an easy way. Branding, how the restaurant feels, tastes, and talked about. Marketing, the sign outside, ads and promotions. Marketing gets them in the door. Branding decides if they come back. So how can you, and that's the most generic example, so you can sort of think about that in your business. So this number I think keeps rising over the next hand gestures, interesting. That's the problem with being Italian. It's like Facebook is AI thinking I'm trying to stop or whatever. But the one thing is touch points, right? It's like how many times does someone need to interact with you or see you or know you or whatever you before they decide to hand over money? And these are just average numbers. You can't say, well, I did 10 posts, then no one gave me money. Okay. But so that's, if you can keep this in your mind, and then later on the next slide, you tracked what you post. So we have this, and then here. I think this is something else to consider when you're doing Facebook, because bottom of funnel is like someone with their hand in their wallet, like giving you money. But you need to assume that most people are at the top of the funnel where they don't know you exist. Like technically, this is my top of funnel with you guys, right? Like no one knew who I was. I'm doing an event. I'm getting social media stuff to post, which will help bring the familiarity, the awareness, et cetera, et cetera. So I think this is going to be the majority of what you should focus on when you're designing your posts, your content, what have you. And there's a couple examples in here that let's see. So I can dive into this, I can gloss over it, but I mean, this is kind of it. It's just like how awareness and familiarity, like how do people get to know you? I think one of the things going back to the groups is if you join the Wheaton or Glen Ellen or Carol Stream or whatever, like DuPage areas, like people are gonna ask questions, and if it pertains to your business, that's gonna be one of the easiest ways for you to be seen. They may not hire you, but still like 30 people are gonna end up seeing that. They're gonna see your response. So they're gonna find out about you, right? So they're gonna know who you are, what you do, that kind of thing. So these are literally, again, they'll be in the email, but these are just some basic like post ideas for top of funnel stuff. Middle, I might need this, who do I trust? So this is like education reassurance. This is where you got FAQs, explaining problems, social proof, and calm authority, like not overselling people, just like literally helping people out. Like I think this first one, how do I know if this needs to be fixed now or can wait? So like, what problems can you answer for people? And like a lot of mine, it's like a lot of the video stuff is like, okay, what's the best camera to use? What's the lighting? Everyone's trying to buy lavaliers, some for their phone, some for their camera. Like, so that's kind of what I can be known as a subset of video for. And that's, But you guys, I don't know, what would pertain to you? Like the quality of materials, like what lasts best in the sun versus like shade, like what do different colors, I don't know feng shui, but like, you know, so just understanding those things in a more educational way is legit. I think what's most important for a lot of this is like the FAQs, whoever you talk to on a daily basis that's going to ask you questions, those are the things you need to be remembering and writing down. Like, I don't know if you put it in your notes app in your phone or you have just like a little book, but like when someone asks you 1 or 2 questions, like that's sort of a post. You know, I mean, this just, if they have it, a bunch of other people have that question. And so this is that basic, not even diving into like any other SEO stuff. This is just like real world. You know, someone is asking you this, you know, it's important enough for them to ask you. So these are the things that you should be like, oh yeah, okay, well here is how, like even, I was looking at something today on my dishwasher because it's like crapping out on us. And so I've looked on a YouTube video and it's still like, you know, it's like they have the problem or the solution, but at the same time, it's also like, do I have 3 hours to, you know, like, so you can give away the answer sometimes and they may not even use the answer, but you are still the person that helped them get to the answer. You know, so if you could think about stuff like that, like really how to use eBay or how to use Facebook groups to sell old stuff, and they're gonna deal with 10 emails. Do you still have it? Everyone's gonna ghost them. They're gonna be scared as heck to go to a gas station to meet someone for a $10 baby toy, and then be like, wait, you'll do that where they don't need to interact with customers. You know, like, so that's kind of the way to think about, you can help problem solve, and then hopefully you just build your trust that way. And then bottom funnel, I mean, this is kind of just the call to action. I think, you know, like you almost want call to actions on everything, but not, because that's where I think it gets too salesy. And then I think it's also important, like, because just to give away my ending, my call to action at the end is to follow me on Facebook, because that's the point of this. Like, so then I know that that's an opportunity. For you guys, it might be an email list. It might be an Instagram, because maybe you post videos on a daily basis or weekly basis on how to get people like into the mindset of, here's peace, I know the world is crazy, here's the calm, here's the blah, and you end up being the calm for them. Is that through Instagram or you know, like, so eventually they'll buy the book, hopefully, if you do that. But like, if you have the book, the other thing is you're marketing it. So like now you're just post marketing the book to get them to buy the book versus, you know, so is this making sense? Okay. Yeah, so I think this is where you're at. It's ideal, but this bottom of funnel thing, you need to assume like middle and top are like the majority of your life, for better or worse. Like you can tell someone buy, but how many times has that worked on you? When someone starts getting aggressive to you, they're like, no, you gotta buy today. And you're like, I'm never talking to you again because you're trying to twist my arm. So I think that's back to this. This is almost like, not only is it a funnel, I would consider this like the amount of time you spend on the thing. Like, we all want this, but like, if you can just easily do this without selling and just being educational and helpful, I think you'll have better luck. So here, just a simple weekly posting rhythm. 1 top of funnel for visibility, 1 for trust, and then 1 for conversion. That might even, like I said, it might even be aggressive. You might do like 2 top of funnel, 1 middle, and a bottom, like, who knows? But I think this, at least, if you think of these 3, this might help you with whatever you're making. So again, just a little framework. So again, why consistency beats cleverness. This is what I was just talking about. Like, the problem with being a video person. Like I'm just like, I can't show bad lighting and just not perfect, because then people are going to think this is the product I'm going to give them. So then I don't do anything, and that doesn't help me. So, but like, and then because I'm always listening to marketing people, and then I just saw one guy, and he was like, just do, a handheld little camera, and then it was shaky, like it's not good, not like a tripod. It's literally is shaking around, but it's got like an insane engagement, and I'm like, so you need to get out of your own way. Like that was almost a separate presentation. I could have done that, and you could always rehash it, but like that's a big thing. I think is our own roadblocks is one of the biggest thing with doing a lot of this stuff, because we can get way too in our own head, and so that's like, I think that's a big thing that I will just add as extra credit homework for everybody, is they can figure out their roadblocks, what they're embarrassed about. That'll just help you with creating more stuff. And again,
email you and throw things your way.
And yes, and you can email me, and my contact info is at all these. So feel free to bounce ideas. Happy to, that's the point of this. Like now I'm hopefully in your guys' network as a marketing person, as a video marketing person. Like this is kind of our connection. And again, I would love you guys to hire me tomorrow. I know that's not going to happen, so I don't mind. Like, I may as well help people like along the way, and then you'll eventually set up lights. You'll see how much money it is to buy everything. You'll sit down and how big of a pain it is after you do one idea, and you'll be like, what, maybe I should just, maybe it is easier if I have someone just coach me along and bump me along. So this is my top of funnel with you guys. Like I would love, feel free, let's reach out. This is the connection. We'll talk at these Wednesday networking events. This is where we meet each other, and that's what happens. So I won't dive into this too much, but I just wanted to put it because I think it's also funny that my page health is even just good. Like I'm not perfect, do what I say, not what I do kind of thing. So I don't want to dive into that. But it's like, so many businesses I know don't even have, not so many, but some of them don't even have websites, and they just use their Facebook as like their main catch-all. So I think like you can almost consider it your link tree if you don't want to screw around with like websites and anything. So now, I thought this was just like an ironic thing, because I think the thing about the posting is that some of them are going to be crappy, and you need to like accept that they will be not that good. But the point is you need to do it anyways. And again, that could be a whole 30 minutes of just like, get it out. You should not be the judge. You need to let like other people be the judge, as long as it's in your vein, consistent, because you don't know what people, like as much as you can obsess over every detail. Is this going to be perfect? You don't know what people are going to like respond to. So like, that's why continuously posting is going to help. Here's just ideas. 4 core content types. You got trust building, behind the scenes, values, some story, helpful, that back to the tips, FAQs, education. Again, that's the people that you talk with on a regular basis that ask you questions is your like best into that. The other thing is if you Google, this is a whole other thing. You can go into Google or AI and just ask the questions, and so that's a whole thing. Social proof, that's going to be reviews. This goes on to SEO, but like reviews on Google and Facebook and potentially Yelp, those are like boosting things. So if you can get those, that just sort of helps your awareness on the web in general. Testimonials are just someone else, of course, telling someone else how great you are, but not from your voice, so it always sounds better. And then offers is just basically, there's a couple theories of like, you can consistently make billion posts, and then the other thing is you can be like the best resource guide for blank. So I think that's kind of like a lead magnet too that you would like consider. It'd be something that's on your website. You could say, hey, give me your email and I'll send you this guide on top 10 ways to shoot videos or 5 ways to shoot videos. And hopefully that's it makes everyone go viral, like how to go viral with video. Like, someone gives me their email and so what can you do? 10 ways to find calm, 10 colors that bring calm to or whatever you want to, whatever emotion is, 10 colors to bring calm throughout your house, like, things of that nature. Because I think that's important. Like, digital products are like stuff that's good that you want people to give you, that you'll either give away money for, that'll like hopefully inspire you. And which is again something with me that like for a while I did a video podcast because it was like, I'm a video producer, video production is my way, so I need to produce videos. But writing is still important, and so I've been working on like PDF lead magnets that I can do, because like a lot of the psychological stuff that I was talking about that I know I got stuck in, clearly if I'm the one that's selling it, I know other people are getting stuck in it too, so that's it. So Facebook groups, I won't dive into this, but basically, you guys have all found groups, right? Like through Facebook, you know where to access them? Okay, so you'll figure it out. You know what your thing is, like if it's low, it sounds like most of us are local. I guess you could be national, but like most people are local, so they can at least like go to the Wheaton garage sale or that, just to see where people are looking for tips. I didn't want, because this is like almost a whole other thing of diving into using Facebook ads, but has anyone run a Facebook ad for their business? Okay. So I'm sure people will find, this is kind of what the next couple slides are about, almost going back to the top of funnel stuff, and then retargeting is kind of like what people assume Facebook is the best for. Because they have something called the pixel, so that's something where basically you set up these, what are the instances? So like if it's like, okay, someone clicks my ad and goes to the web page, or someone watches my video, or someone does an email. You can choose these different things, but it's like, again, think of the top of funnel stuff, like you're just bringing awareness, because it's going to be like, as much as I would, unless you go viral. This is the other thing. Unless you go viral, like the organic probably won't get you as much as you're assuming. Like you're not going to have a huge post, or it's not like each one gets 1,000 people. For better or worse, like it just is what it is. So getting into the pixel and retargeting is part of the ways to like run, $5 a day or whatever you can afford, $1 a day, just to like get some people to get new eyes. Then that's where it's like literally just to find new followers for your lead magnet, or so then from there, then they're in the funnel, and then you can start doing your middle of funnel and all that other kind of content to hopefully convert them. Again, that's a whole, I'm glossing over this only because it's just the can of worms that I feel like it's just tough. So retargeting, though, this is what I think is the important thing, and about what Facebook does is just the fact that like once you set that pixel up on your website, like this is how, when you guys go to somebody's website and then you go back on Facebook and then you see their ad immediately, like that's what this is. Like this is the pixel and this is the retargeting. Someone went to the website, it's out of your mind. Like you go to the website, you look at it for 10 seconds, you forget about it, and then you see an ad every day on Facebook. And like, how many times does it take you before you re-click on that thing that you were kind of interested in? So like, again, you need to understand that psychology too. This is why the retargeting is important. This is why the pixel is important. And then most people don't buy the first time they see you. This is like, the retargeting is just to help, because they unfortunately, the organic search, organic reach just keeps dropping. So this is like anything, they just kind of want to make you pay. So here, this is just diving a little more into these funnels. Again, some stuff works. Like, some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. You guys, this is more of the trial and error, like, because you can see what's nice though about all this stuff is like, the more you do it, you get either your monthly digest or whatever it is, you get to see like what actually works. So like from there, you start understanding if it's like a specific topic that you're referencing, or if it's something else. And this is the one thing that I also, roadblocks, and then also like how good certain things are, is a whole other topic that I didn't even want to get into it, but for anyone that knows like the Beatles, their first album was like covers, right? And so they put out like 7 albums before they made Abbey Road. Like, they didn't just form and made one of the best albums. Like, it took them a minute. So I think you should also understand that like, just because you do a couple maybe there's like other factors, like it's performance, it could be your videoing or your writing or you're like, that's part of the testing, which is embarrassing and weird, because it's like, well, I tried so hard, but once you do better than that. And so I think that's the other thing that I wanted to just like emphasize with the roadblocks, is that like, it's easy to be like, okay, well, I put so much effort into this and like, I got nothing. And that's like discouraging. But you got to keep at it. Like, there's no other option. Like, you got to take I took a break. I'm like recreating my video stuff. And it's like, sometimes just recharge, like this perfect time, the holidays, the 2 weeks is like wonderful to just recharge, reposition, and then like jump back at it with more energy or more excitement or whatever. So I think that could be a whole talk, but I really it takes a while too. So like, try not to get discouraged immediately.
Do you put a timeline on the things that you post? Is it ever the same? Do you put a timeline on how long between posts? Do you give yourself a goal every month?
I think that's good. Like, anything that can be tracked can be managed. I think that's the easiest thing to assume. Because I think an easy thing too is to get overwhelmed, and then you're like, oh shoot, I'm not hitting these numbers. Like, for my posting schedule, I'm not hitting that, and then you just like kind of get away and you don't do anything. So I think it might be good as a guideline. I think like, you guys are going to figure out what your cadence is. Like, some weeks you're going to have a bunch of stuff. It's just like you talking to a bunch of people, so you have ideas. The other week it's like maybe not. So at least you can, at the very basic, you can say once a week. Like, if that's just enough to like hurdle yourself. And I think that's the other thing, because you don't.
Data from Facebook.
Oh yeah, all the time. Okay. And then it's just, the more data you get, the more you can make educated guesses, versus like, if you just do one thing, then that's it.
Are you getting data from Facebook only if you advertise through them, or any business account?
Yeah, through the pages, you still get analytics.
And those are free.
Those are free.
Okay.
So yeah, this is just some basic what to track. I mean, I think a lot of these, like, I don't want to call them vanity metrics, but like follower count and views and likes without action, like, I don't necessarily, like, I wouldn't obsess over those too much, because I think the way I sort of think of this is that I know I personally do this, so that's why, like, think of yourself. But like, so many times I'll look someone up, and then I go to their Facebook page or their Instagram page, and then I look at 3 things, and then I'm like, oh, that is interesting, and then I follow them. Versus like, oh, these are 4 flyers, so you're just going to spam me with stuff, and you're not going to be like helpful for the thing that I'm looking for. So that's why I think, like, if you don't get caught up in like the vanity stuff of how many followers do I have, or I only got like 3 likes or 3 views on this, like, it's still there. It's still on your page. So if someone finds you, you know, like, they could find you later on. And I don't think the goal is to be viral, but like, in case you potentially become viral, like that, not like a bacteria, but like, if you do, like, if you go viral, like, it sometimes takes a minute too. Like, it's not necessarily someone posts it and then that night, but like maybe 6 months down the line, someone retweets or, you know, resends it out or shares it, or it gets, you just meet the right person, they reshare that, and then the thing, you know, so it's important to just keep it there. Consider, like, for me as an artist, it's easy to know that I'm just creating a portfolio. But this is where I think like an artist, and that you're creating a portfolio. Like, this continues to live on. And even another thing too is it's, as an artist, like, sometimes revisiting stuff with new eyes reignites or like gives me a new vision for something. So I think that's the other reason why you keep it. And then back to that Beatles comment, I feel like it's also important too, because then, like, it's going to take all of your guts to post like the first video, or, you know, like something that you have that you're embarrassed, you're putting it out there, it's very scary, and you don't get a reaction. And then like 3 months later, once you've like gone into a dark hole about it, or what, like, you've gotten over yourself and you can revisit it again, then you can like unemotionally review the work and then like objectively look at it of like, oh, I do sound boring. Or I do, like, and I've done that with a lot of my videos, because I've not a lot of them, but like, you know, it's even weird, you know, it's weird doing that in your house sometimes. Like, you're like, okay, well, all right, the kids are gonna hear me, or I'm hearing them like screwing around, like, is that gonna show up? And then so you're stressed, and you're not like fun and playful. Like, who wants to watch? You're like, oh, that's what happened. Like, I wasn't the boisterous person I want people to see. I was like the stressed. So again, it's another reason why I think keep it there, and it's important to review it later on, because I think that's part of an artist too. Like, review it with fresh eyes to see what you need. This is just some basic stuff as more like what you can do. Phones, I mean, we're at peak video and photo content, like, in our pockets, plain and simple. Like, so whatever you do with the phone is going to be good enough. Like, so just make sure if there's little things, if it's like, it's kind of one of the other things, but it's like throughout the day, like as you're working on projects, here we're picking out samples, here's what's the kind of chair or couch I'm looking for, like, just all those basic boring things, but like, it might be interesting. So reuse. I think reusing stuff is another, whether reuse like the exact thing, or again, looking at something with like fresh eyes and just remaking it. Like, it's the whole, like, how much money does Hollywood make from redoing The Lion King? Like, so maybe rehashing an idea, as much as everyone begrudges it, like, they still watch it. So like, I think it works, and I think it's worth considering, like, which is why I think also this could be a get out of your own way, how to stop your roadblocks talk, where it's like, just because you worked hard, like, you need to get out of your way as an artist to, like, you just want people to know about you. And so I think it's, again, progress over polish. I think that's an important thing, because I think that's clearly where I got stuck. I was like, this needs to be perfect. And I'm like, wait. Then I talk to people that I work with, and they're like, oh, you have a drone license? I'm like, I just renewed it. So that means I've had it for 3 years, and I haven't posted enough that people don't know that I have a drone license. Like, that's dumb. You know, like that's just a fail on my part. So progress. Like, and literally I could just do a single 3-second shot. Here's downtown Nashville. Here's, just wherever. So I think of yourself like that. This is obvious. This is basically what we talked about anyways. I mean, I think it's important. You may find other platforms work better for you, and I think a lot of these theories, that's why I didn't want to be too Facebook specific, because I think it's really more like top of funnel, middle of funnel, and internal roadblocks. I think those are like the 3 things to worry about, because you can do that across Instagram and LinkedIn and YouTube and blah, blah, blah. So Facebook might actually be dead for you guys. Like maybe it doesn't work for your business. Like LinkedIn is probably better for me. Like people post for family photographers on the local page, and there's like 1 billion people. It's like, all right, well, that's like more depressing than like helpful. But like on LinkedIn, if you post headshots or event photos, like it has more impact. So like, if that makes sense. So again, this will be in the email if you want. It's just some basic 30-day local Facebook plan, just things for you guys to do. And then if anyone has joined BNI, does anyone know that? I'm not a member, but it's Business Networking International, I believe. It's like a yearly, it's a networking group. They charge like $1,000 for the year or something. But they're like weekly, they're accountable with like giving leads and passing off referrals to people. And one of their things is you want to be like, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. That's like their whole theory. So if you know, like, and trust, that's just what you can use these social platforms for, is making people know, like, and trust you. Don't need to put on a big face. You kind of just be who you are, and you'll just kind of connect with your people, whoever they end up being. But
Which your local chamber can do that too.
which is the first place that I think you should.
Big fan of the chamber. Yes.
Very much so. So, and actually on that story, that was when I first started my business. It was, you're just like at home. You're just like, all right, well, why aren't the phones ringing off the hook? And then I talked to someone else that was a small business owner, and he's like, this one guy, he's like, go to a chamber and meet people. And here I am. So it's like,
I was a board member.
and now, yeah.
Glen Ellen.
No, I'm the Glen Ellen Chamber board member, which is the only reason I'm not in Wheaton, because I know I'd be getting myself way too thin. Yes. So I think that as business owners, I think that's where a lot of the people that you want to meet are there, and you're going to get ideas. So I think Facebook amplifies, or all of these things amplify these local connections, right? Or just these in-person connections. So I think if you can think of any social media to amplify the people you're meeting on a regular basis, hopefully it helps. So work with Mike. These are got to be educational, but I just want to say, like, this is what I do. I do photo branding, video branding, or like a brand story if you need anything like that. As I said, the whole reason I got into this is because everyone needed to know where to post their video or where to post their photos. So I started understanding, because it's all branding and sales and et cetera. And I just think video was one of the most important, but that's still, there's whole podcasts and written books and all that. So that's what I do. If anyone's interested in stuff like that, headshots or whatever, let me know. I'm happy to work with you.
That's great. He did my family's photo.
And I do some family photos. And so thank you. And that's it looks bad here, but that is the Milky Way. I couldn't find my other one. I have some better ones of the Milky Way that are really cool, that I was really proud of as a photographer. But so yeah, questions?
No.
Is that it? Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
And you'll
So if
sign this, you'll get the slides. So if you haven't, and you want it, it's
Sign it.
here.
But yeah, so as my joke that I gave away early, follow me on Facebook. Like, I think, that's the whole
Just
point.
I can't believe I hadn't before.
Well, we don't, that's the thing. It's like so many close friends that you don't end up doing that stuff. So it's,
Right.
which is why, and so also, so how long have we been,
We've known each other since the beginning.
so like,
At least 3 years.
so you don't, so it takes a minute too for everything too. And so you need to that's why you can't lose faith and just keep saying the same thing. And yeah, so,
No question.
yeah.
The part where you skipped over about more rudimentary aspects of the Facebook business page, that's where I am.
Okay.
Page, and I set it up and I know what to do with it. So does Facebook offer any kind of understandable for people like me who are not quite at the advanced level to just fly through a page you set up and get going on that?
I mean,
Need training?
they have FAQs. I can do a quick, I could do a free thing, and then if it, if we go a couple hours or whatever, then that's where I've charged people to do that. But I can do some free stuff that what else do I need?
We might have a book. at the library.
Oh yeah, there's definitely, there's resources. I'm sure you can find even
For dummies, I think there is one.
even YouTube. I've done, this is the thing, I've done a video on this. I spent 30 minutes, but then it's all right, 30 minutes. So if you have a specific thing, then,
Yeah, just to piggyback off of that, if you actually log in through your Facebook Business Manager, there are a bunch of tutorials on there in regards to content and posting and et cetera that's provided directly from Meta.
yeah, they have a bunch of resources. But
Said I would access that how?
So you'll go to your Facebook Business, which it's basically you log in with Meta.
thanks for watching.
But that's where it also shows you all your links and everything. So once you got the page set up, go to your analytics. It'll put you in that.
Just
Okay.
register it here regardless of where you live.
But yeah, it all takes time. I think that's the other thing. Nothing, as much as we want it to happen overnight, it doesn't. And so I think that's twice, construction, twice as long and twice as much. So it just takes forever. But that's why I think as you build that, that's why I think it's more important to do these in-person things and just meet people this way. So that's what I think. And then again, since it is Facebook, does anyone want to do a selfie? If I do it here, are you guys okay to? All right, let's do this. Thank you guys. So, that's it. It's you'll find your stuff and you really don't know what's going to connect with people until you try it. So thank you guys. But yeah, follow me. I'm happy to chat with anyone if you got just a couple questions or.
This in 5 days.
Thank you.
But I've done it in the past.
He has.
I've done it in the past, so I had the idea.
Props. He did this as a huge favor.
Thank you.
Everybody signed it.
Thanks.
All right, I'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you. Good meeting you.